this morning. Yes. And my phone is hacked, so it might not have went through. Like, I really don't have a phone.
Okay, that's okay.
What's your name, by the way?
Okay, I'm Caitlin.
Caitlin.
Sorry, yep. And the attorney is Joe Crosby.
Okay.
He's just not here right now.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, and then what are you calling about? Is it something that happened to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, my problem is, it's kind of broad
Mm-hmm.
in retrospect. I have, had, when I was a child, my mom had psychologists, practicing on me
Mm-hmm.
without my knowledge. And so,
Okay.
it was legal because I was a child, but once I
Mhm.
became an adult, it continued.
And were you here in Minnesota?
Mm-hmm.
And who were they? Do you know,
As
like,
an
the
adult,
clinic?
as an adult,
Yeah.
I do know, it's, what's it called, Epiphany Family Services. And they've taken my children,
Okay.
and I was set up, they've taken my children away by her and my ex-husband. We got
Mhm.
married because she set us up to be married. I didn't know it was a setup.
Mm-hmm.
She's-
And when did
she-
you get married?
In 2004, she set me up at the church. I was in the, she basically recruited me to the church,
Mm-hmm.
and, with a man that I liked at my job. She put the man there at my job to get me to like him and bring me to church. She continued to practice, psychology on me, which is illegal to do without my
Mhm.
knowledge, especially
Your
in the
mom
church.
did? Or
No.
had the doctors
The
do
doctor
it?
did, Dr.
Okay.
Langford, Dr. Langford did. Mm-hmm.
And then how many kids do you have?
3.
3 kids?
Mm-hmm.
And when did they take them?
They've been gone since June 7th. He put a protective order, which is what Kirk Family Services does. They set it up, they tried it before in 2021 because I was, basically getting, private detectives to follow him because there was, my house got shot up with bullets.
Mm-hmm.
And then, there was, my car got hit a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
So these were set up on purpose. These were like mind games that he was playing, mental mind games that he
Mhm.
had set up. And so there, it's kinda like,
And when did those happen?
the house got shot up in October 2020, the pandemic. My car got hit in 2015 on purpose.
In 2015?
Mm-hmm. March 2015, exactly. It was a Dodge Caravan. My 2 kids were inside with me. And then, he set it up when his car became a part of my investigation. He got
Mhm.
his car hit with me and him in it in 2021
And did this all happen here
in Minnesota.
in Minnesota?
Yeah, I've been here the whole time. For the last 25 years, all this has been happening.
And then was the protective order because of these things that happened?
No, he put a protective order because once he moved out in August 2021, out of the house. We both still owned it.
Mm-hmm.
So 2022, 21 to 2022, there was no problems. 2023, there was, I got fired from my job because he was coming up to my job. He started some stuff at my job to get me fired.
Okay.
Okay.
What did he do?
Well, basically, every job that I've had, she's had men sent to my job because the trauma I went through as a child was with sexual trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So he knew about it when he married me, that, that I was being set up. And so they would bring men to my jobs and, people of the LGBTQ community.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were just, trying to deal with my traumas without telling me. Does that
Mhm.
make sense?
Kind of.
Scenarios and different things at work.
Mm-hmm. And where did you work?
Minneapolis Public Schools,
Okay.
and that was the first place. And then the second, I had a job with, I had my own business with, called Shine Bright.
Okay.
And they would, she sent, children and their families there, who had, a lot of, disabilities, because turns out I have a disability with
Mhm.
dementia. So I ended up working at public schools with children with disabilities, and so then when I went into my own business working with children, that's what she sent. She would send people with disabilities. I had no idea this was happening.
And how did you find out that she was doing it?
Via social media, I basically stopped talking. I was in business with my mom, and so I stopped. When the business closed, I started to see that there were some things, different about my mom,
Mm-hmm.
about how she treated me and my sister, so I stopped speaking to her. So, my ex-husband and I was, what we were going through in 2021,
Mm-hmm.
then, because he stayed in contact with the psychologist, he continued to bother me on my new job. Went back to public school with my daycare.
Mhm.
They shut my
Wait,
daycare
so
down.
your husband was speaking to your psychologist?
He's been a part of it the whole time, for the
Yeah.
last 25 years,
Mm,
yes.
Okay. And was the psychologist speaking to your whole family, or just your mom and your husband?
I'm not sure, cause they don't
Okay.
tell me anything. But I have evidence to prove it.
Okay.
The biggest thing that happened recently was social media. So like I
Mhm.
said, it came out on social media. I posted some videos about things that he was saying to me, because he set me up, because of my traumas with sexual. He moved his cousin into the house of man.
Mm-hmm.
They lived with us for 3 years, and so he was out of prison. I didn't want him to come stay with us. I ended up connecting with him and having an affair with him
Mm-hmm.
in 2014. So then my business got shut down in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Langford had the same business at her church that I had, was childcare. So there was a child left on the van in 2015
Mm-hmm.
at her daycare, and then it happened to me in 2016. So it was just a pretending setup that
Mhm.
that they did to do against me.
And you said Dr. Lakeford has the same thing at the church?
Yes,
Does Dr. Lakeford work at the church?
yes. That's
Oh.
where that's where Family Services is located. Her
Okay.
business is inside the church.
What church is it?
Shiloh Temple.
How do you spell that?
SHILOHTEMPLE.
Okay. So the Epiphany Family Services is inside the
Yes,
Shiloh
same
Temple?
location, yeah.
Okay.
1201 West Broadway.
Huh.
I know,
Never heard of that.
yeah. And so, fast forward to social media, I started posting some things about him, and then, she kind of revealed herself via, that she's been watching, just, doing her doctor thing, watching my page
Mhm.
for the since I got on there in 2009. So
Dr.
Langford.
Lakeford said
Langford.
that?
she hasn't said anything. She
Oh.
just,
Your mom did.
no one said it.
Mm.
It's just, I put all the evidence together, that it's been her behind the scenes, cause she knew it was illegal to do it in front of the scenes.
Mhm.
So, she's been watching me, practicing on me. She brought me to the church,
Mhm.
you see what I mean, so she could practice on me.
Your mom brought you to the church?
No,
Or
Dr. Langford did,
Okay.
not my mom.
What are Dr. Lakeford's qualifications?
She's a, mental, marriage and family
Marriage and family.
psychologist.
I've truly never thought that they had psychologists at churches. What's her first name?
Well, it's illegal to do it without someone's consent. They have
Yeah.
psychologists in churches,
Mhm.
but it's not legal to do without their consent,
What's her first name?
Andrea.
Okay, so then what's happening now with the hacking? Is that your husband as well?
So he set me up in 2024 with my son. So he played all these crazy making games and it was mental games. And I believe that she has been working with him as well,
Mhm.
like it was connected. Because I was like, I had already started doing my research after the affair on
Mhm.
like, why would I have an affair on my husband, like what was going on? So I realized it was mental and emotional abuse. In 2017, 18, 17, we bought a new home. He knew that I had dementia. Well, I don't know if I told you that, but I have
Mhm.
memory loss. And so my family knew, no one told me. So how
Mhm.
would I know if I have memory loss? So, everything that was practiced on me, I worked at Wells Fargo, Honeywell. So I remember, like, one of my first jobs was at Honeywell, and even when I was in college at Minneapolis Community and Technical College, that it was, practice was going on.
Mhm.
Via her, because I was at least, well, I won't say it was her, but I didn't meet her until I had a roommate, and, that was in 2000 and, it was either 1999 or 2000.
Mhm.
Long story short, when when I got fired off of my job, because I knew I was being set up with men on my job. So I ended up getting fired because of they used a woman to, and like an antagonist with this man at the job. So I was just
Mhm.
like, the second year I was there, I blew up. I went back to Minneapolis School and blew up. Via social media, I was writing things, and then she started to show her face.
Mhm.
And then I realized, I was like, oh, okay, it's been used since 2000. I knew since 2009, I didn't realize it
Mhm.
because of my memory, that then I started to sit at home, I was unemployed, and I realized that she recruited me there with Jacob Loggins.
Mhm.
To the
Who's
church.
Jacob Loggins?
Just, that's what they've been using as men.
Okay.
There's plenty of men, she used men in the
Mhm.
church, I was at the church from 2000 to 2017. And so she was using men and married men the whole time in the church, even her own husband, she used her own husband
Mhm.
against me as well. So, moving forward, once I realized what she did, 2024, they started to set up me and my son. There was no problems with us, with my husband, my ex-husband, nothing. From when he moved out, 2024, it was quiet,
Okay.
until things started to shake up in 23 when
Mhm.
I got fired. So then all of a sudden, I had all this, I was talking about lawsuits, and I filed a lawsuit against my mom, and I found out they did to my business that she was my partner.
Mhm.
So then they shook it up, I believe, between me and my son, and there was
And
an
when did you
altercation.
file the other lawsuit against your mom?
In 23, it
2023.
must have been March, I wanna say March 2023,
What type of lawsuit is it?
a civil lawsuit.
Okay. And who's handling that one?
Nobody.
Nobody? Okay.
So, my, son and I, I even contacted the judge on his birthday. I was like, he's being used against me with his father. He's 13 years old, and his dad is coaching him on what to do, break windows, kick my doors in. He busted my car up, and there was an altercation at his dad's job because I forgot that because of my dementia, and I pulled up there, and he started altercation at his dad's job, where it got erratic, and he had me sent to jail.
And what month was that?
June 7th,
June.
2024,
Okay.
and that's when he took my kids from me.
Okay.
And via that, he's been using social media with Country Wayne. It's a he's a famous celebrity millionaire who he's been using to post skits about everything that has happened in my life for the last 25 years.
Who is that?
a millionaire celebrity, Country, spelled with a K, Country Wayne. He's been, since everything started to come out, what was happening with him and then there was my friends, or they were very fake, that they used in high school. They told him everything about me, because when I was younger, and I was, a child who was very, not very promiscuous, I wouldn't say that, but very, troublesome when it came to scams and money and credit cards. I was doing things that I shouldn't have been doing.
Mhm.
So when we got married, they told him everything that we did in high school together.
Mhm.
And I was being practiced on when it was happening, and I didn't know.
Mhm.
So he started to use Dr. Langford to practice on me during the marriage. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And what's going on now with the hacking?
My email's hacked. I had to open up like 3 different email accounts.
Mm-hmm.
My phone is hacked. I can't even turn it on anymore. It's an iPhone that it's just in my purse. I bought a new phone, and that phone is hacked, so I just don't even pay the bill anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a brand new phone. It like he can watch me. My house has light bulbs, or he has cameras in my house because he's he breaks into the house when I'm not there. But he put a protection order on me and my kids. I filed a protection order against him at Hennepin County that did not go through because he has connections with the psychologist that removed it. So
and when did you file that?
In 23, when I filed it against my mom, him and my mom, when I filed the civil court against her suit, I filed the protection order against them both.
Okay.
And that's when they only left it at harassment. They said, we can make it a harassment, it didn't go through or whatever with the judge or whatever, but there was no evidence or anything taken. It was just closed, and I have all the evidence.
Okay.
Then I also filed all the evidence in my case number, that they have, he keeps sending me fake documents, so I don't know what's real and what's fake. For the release, when we went to court, it was released, the party, protection was released, and then after I went to go find, a judge, I started to still continue to pursue help. He sent me another document that said that it was not released. Like, if you can see the date, like it was filed at 1 a.m. at court, and I'm like, that's not real.
Maybe it says PM. So in the afternoon. Maybe.
I can look at the other page. Oh, it does say PM, you're right. Well, at the same time, why it changed 30 days later. You see what I mean?
And then have you called the court about these at all?
I can't, no, I can,
Because you don't have a phone.
I just need an attorney that, you know what I mean, that can handle it, because I can't do anything.
Yeah, but yeah, this isn't something we would handle. We do personal injury and medical malpractice.
I have medical malpractice,
So-
like, my HIPAA was violated, it completely.
Yeah. So, but this
That's fine.
part we wouldn't be able to deal with.
That's fine,
Yeah.
that's fine. That is
So what happens next is I take this, everything that you told me that I've written down, I take this to the attorney and we'll discuss it. And then we'll contact you if he has any follow-up questions.
Okay.
So
It does work, but I don't know, they can block me from receiving emails, so I can come back to you without a problem.
or do you have anyone like close to you that has a phone that you could borrow if we need to get a hold of you? Not really, okay.
My house, I literally have he still owns the house with me, and I can't make this up, it sounds like Lifetime movie. My house is bugged, and I can't, So my daughter
Does
is
he ever
there with
come?
her phone, but her phone is bugged too, if that makes sense.
Okay,
You know what I'm
okay,
saying?
yeah. Okay, but this email works though?
You
You
can,
think it might work?
well, I will say this, to email me, they may try and contact you, because he's working
Mhm.
with the Department of Psychology.
Mhm.
As a matter of fact, I got all the paperwork in my car, I called and made the police on the Department of Psychology, I went on site in St. Paul on Rudolph,
Mhm.
in their building, and I demanded to speak to the, what is it called, the executive director over the Department of Psychology. He said, I have it on video, I even videotaped him. He said, we don't, he said, she's in marriage and family. I filed a complaint online, I have that document where I filed a complaint online.
Mhm.
They won't do anything. They're backing her up and won't do anything.
Okay,
And I have a police report, and I reported it when I was there online, when I was there in the building.
okay. And then what's your address?
4,000 Queen Avenue North, Minneapolis, Minnesota, 55412.
Okay.
So, I mean, even if you can try and email me, but if not, I can definitely like come back, because I'm off
Mhm.
work. Oh, this is the thing, I'm off work as I work at the schools, so my last day of work is the 20th, and then I work for Osseo, I'll be off for 2 weeks. So I can meet anytime, before Christmas. I know he's probably gonna be, with
Mhm.
family for Christmas week, but if before Christmas or after, Christmas, any dates, I can just drop in, because he may not be able to contact me.
So yeah, I will, cause we're not in the office all the time.
Right.
So I'm just worried that you would drop in and then we wouldn't be here.
Right.
But yeah, we can try to contact you via that email.
Mm-hmm.
Could we also mail a letter to you? Does that work too?
He's monitoring the house.
Yeah, okay.
He's
Okay.
monitoring the house. That's all I'm saying. You can try it. I don't have a problem with you trying, but he's definitely monitoring the house. So I would probably prefer your email before you
Email?
even mail,
Okay.
because that's even like, I'm telling you, he's really has me tracked.
Okay.
But I will say this, at the same time, I'm not, do you know the statutory, limitation?
Yes, on medical malpractice, it's 4 years.
4 years,
Yep.
okay. So, like I said, if, I have the evidence, I have,
Mhm.
video, I even with that court date, I have that court date on tape
Mhm.
that we met, and, it's just, he's my ex-husband is on there, pretty much confessing to everything that he
Mhm.
did. Everything that, the documents I have against Dr. Langford are filed in this case, and I have,
Mhm.
they have a court filing date on them, and I have them in my car.
Mhm.
So I can give him those too, like I can prove
Yeah.
everything that I'm talking about.
Mhm. Yeah, cause it's no use giving it to me, cause I'm not the one that makes decisions on what cases we take.
Mm-hmm,
I have to get this to, Mr. Crosby first,
mm-hmm.
before he decides if it's a case that he wants to look into.
Yeah, that's
So
fine,
that's like the process that we have to do.
that's fine,
But I will get this in front of him whenever he's available,
yeah, that's fine.
and then we can email you.
I'll let you go, 2 more questions.
Mhm.
Can I use a lawyer, if he doesn't accept it, can I get an attorney from a different state to work on it for this case here in Minnesota?
Yeah, so attorneys in other states,
Mhm.
they can have licenses in any states that they choose.
Mm-hmm.
So like Mr. Crosby, he has Minnesota and Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
Or like
okay.
another Minnesota attorney might have Minnesota and like Illinois. So
Right,
it,
right.
it all depends on where the attorney decided to get a license.
Okay, so if they just have more than one license and one more than in other states?
Typically they do, but yeah, I would try attorneys in Minnesota first
Okay.
before, cause you might call some out of state and then they might say, oh, I don't practice in Minnesota.
Right,
It
right.
might be kinda harder to find them that way.
Okay, yeah,
But yeah, there's tons of attorneys in, Minnesota, so you
Yeah.
can just call in.
okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
Thank you,
Yeah,
I
nice to meet you.
appreciate it. So as far as next week, the week of after the 20th,
Do you
Mhm.
expect to be here any day next week or week after?
20th, cause we. Depositions happening right now and the kids having
Right, right.
term,
Uh-huh.
so I have to check the schedule, but I have to get this until 21st, so we can try to email you,
Yeah,
does that work?
yeah, that's fine, that's fine. I'm not, like I said, you said we have 4 years,
Mhm.
so I don't have to
Yeah,
rush
so
you.
you have 4 years from the date of the medical malpractice.
Okay,
So
okay.
when was the last time you saw Dr. Lake?
Like I said, I don't see her.
Mhm.
I blocked her off of my social media this year,
Mhm.
and, she was basically working on it when she had me put in jail,
Mhm.
and that was in June
Okay.
of this year.
Mhm.
So she's very much involved, she just hides behind the scenes,
Mhm.
and I can prove it,
Okay.
okay?
Mhm.
All right,
Have a
thank
good
you.
one.
You too.